Is coming a few days early tonight with the return of the NBA, including the big Clippers-Lakers matchup, which we thought we were going to see in the Western Conference Finals a few months back. And as always, we've got a ton of storylines to keep an eye on. LeBron's quest for back-to-back rings, the Clippers trying to right the ship under a new coach, KD's first year in Brooklyn, the ever-going drama of where James Harden will end up playing, and so much more. Finally, tonight's the night. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard is joining us. Chris, what is your finals matchup and who wins it all? We're jumping right into it.
Just skip over the 82 games and the 3 rounds of playoffs.
All of it.
I've got the Lakers and Brooklyn in a finals full of delicious storylines. I mean, you got LeBron versus Kyrie, KD versus AD, LeBron going for his 5th ring, 1 shy of Michael. You got KD going for his first ring where he is the leader of the team. It is his franchise. And if LeBron and KD meet in the finals, you could argue this is the fairest matchup they've had. If you want to say when they first met in Oklahoma City, KD was young, certainly Harden and Westbrook were young, and LeBron had veterans with Wade and Bosh and a bunch of other people around him, I'll give you that. When they met in Golden State, I mean, come on, the cards were stacked in KD's favor, so that really wasn't fair for LeBron. This would really be like a fair matchup. Both of them have deep teams, good supporting cast, and 1 extra superstar. So this would just be wonderful if these 2 teams met. Look, the Lakers are the only team in the league with 2 top 5 players, and I can make an argument that they're the deepest team in the league. I don't think they'll drop off when LeBron's on the bench or sits out a game like they did last year because they're so deep. You got another legitimate 18-point scorer in Dennis Schroeder. Marc Gasol is smart. Montrezl Harrell, Markieff Morris, Kyle Kuzma. You could go on and on. With Brooklyn, they're the only team in the East with 2 unstoppable scorers. You want to say Philly's a competition? Ben Simmons not only can be stopped, he stops himself. Milwaukee, Giannis, their best player, can be stopped. They don't have a bona fide second superstar. Boston, outside of Jason Tatum, Kemba's very good. You know, Jaylen Brown's very good, but they're really good, but not great. And nobody on Miami is unstoppable. So I like Brooklyn and East. My only question about the Nets is Kyrie's personality, mentality. Does his moodiness, does his bizarre behavior get on the nerves of some of his teammates and mess up the locker room? I don't think it will. So I'm going with Brooklyn to lose to the Lakers in a great finals.
Oh, hey, don't look at it. He all go ahead, go. You all upset, go ahead, go. I don't even want to go next.
Chris Broussard, you sold me out. What happened to the Clippers? You drove the bandwagon all last year. What did they do so wrong to lose your love? I don't get what the problem is here. How did the world flip on its head all of a sudden and the Lakers became prohibitive Western Conference favorites?
Look, LeBron showed me a lot last year. Him playing point guard, and I know he may not be there as much this year, but that was, I don't want to say easy, but the smoothest ride he's had to a championship in his career. You know, all of his 3 previous championships were really tough to win. And he was smooth last year because I think his position was more defined at point guard. He obviously didn't fall off any because of age, and now they've added depth. And the Clippers, I agree with you, Skip, that they'll be tough. I think they're the 2nd best team, not only in the West, but in the league. But they don't have a leader. As great as Kawhi is, we know he's not a leader. Who's their leader on the floor? So I think they're just a notch below the Lakers.
Do you realize LeBron James got every break he could have gotten last year, starting with the pandemic, which gave him almost 5 months to rest up, heal up, and prepare for a run through a bubble that most teams, including the Clippers, did not want to be part of? Do you realize LeBron got to play the whole playoff run without taking a single flight in year 17. He could almost walk to the gymnasium or the arena where they played each night. He got every break he could have gotten through the playoff run because the Clippers were favored by all the odds makers going into last year's playoffs. They were favored by more points each night against Denver than the Lakers were ultimately favored against Denver. And the Clippers flexed their muscles against Denver. They were up 3-1, then they were up 15 in the first closeout, 19 in the second closeout, 12 in the third closeout, and they could not close the door. I got it. Leadership, point guard. They did not add a playoff Rondo point guard in the offseason. But think about what LeBron dodged the biggest bullet of his career, the Clippers. He didn't have to face the Clippers because the Nuggets took care of that. And then we get to the finals. LeBron got to play the 5th seed in the East. A 5th seed that lost its leading playoff scorer in game number 1 and lost its heart and soul player, Bam, in game number 1. Dragic and Bam gone for the rest of the finals, and Bam was a shell of himself when he did come back. What more could you ask? The Lakers proved little to nothing to me last year. And then, wait a second. They lost playoff Rondo, their 3rd best player. They lost Dwight Howard, who gave them physicality and edge they don't have anymore with Marc Gasol. They lost JaVale, just length and shot blocking they don't have anymore. They continue to lose down the line. They lost Danny Green, a wily 3-and-D veteran. They lost Avery Bradley, the hero of their first win over the Clippers in the regular season last year with 5 threes. I don't get it. How did they get any better with Schroeder and a cast-off? You realize we said no to Montrezl Harrell, and you said yes.
But Chris, you notice at the time of we signing all of those guys, they were marginal players. They weren't worth anything. We win the championship, and now they're so invaluable. It's like Dwight Howard was Kevin McHale. It was like Avery Bradley was Benny Johnson. I'm like, well, what happened? You said they were just guys last year. Because everybody was hyping up the Clippers.
I was cheerleading for Dwight the whole year. That was Dwight at his best. He was on his best behavior. Yes. You know it, and I know it, and you're going to miss him.
See what happened with the Clippers, Skip? The Clippers are the guys at the gym with the tank top on, be doing all, making all the noise, and weak as well water. So y'all did all that talking, put up all the billboards. This is Kawhi Town. You love that commercial. For 2 months, Chris, I had to come out here and see the commercial. Bam! Right between LeBron's eyes, he took a shot at the king.
He did.
Yeah. And look what he got him. Look what he got him, Skip. I keep telling you, Skip, you make your destiny.
It got him favored to win it all last year going into the playoffs.
Skip,
that's what it got him.
Skip, do you realize I was the favorite?
I think you have to admit 2 things, Skip. One, Anthony Davis is going to be better this year. I think he's going to probably make a better run at the MVP than LeBron this year. He's got the confidence now to know he can get it done at the highest level. His swagger's going to be much higher. I think AD's going to be better.
Did you see him Friday night, Chris?
KCP, Caruso, these role players.
Did you see AD Friday night?
Secondly, Skip,